Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Matt the car guy here, and today I'm super stoked. I'm excited because here it is. It's a Tesla Model S and I'm on the beach and there's palm trees behind me and there's water in front of me, so what's better than that? Hey, if you watched my previous reviews like the I-Pace review, you know I was talking about it. Hey, I haven't driven a Tesla in a while, so that would be a great comparison to what this makes this vehicle different, what makes this vehicle the electric vehicle, the choice for electric vehicle fans. So, you know, as always, we're going to take a look at the front of this car, we're going to take a look at the side, we're going to take a look at the back, we're going to take a look at the interior to see where all this magic happens. So if you're ready, let's go. And before we get to the review and walk around part, a couple of fun facts about Tesla. Now this is actually their first four-door model, but they did have this two-door kind of roadster based on the Lotus Elise before that, and that was about $100,000 vehicle, and there was a waiting line for it and all that stuff. Now since then they came up with the Model S, which is this one, the Model 3, which is the little one, the Model X, which is the large SUV, and now the recent one is the Model Y, which is the smaller SUV. So now, what does it spell? S. Now if you take the Model 3 and you flip it, that's E, X, and Y. That is sexy. That's pretty cool that Tesla did it, but they have some sexy vehicles, I tell you what. Now, if you've seen a Tesla, you most likely have seen one of these, because this has been around the most. I mean, there's tons of Model 3 out there, and there's starting to be more and more Model X's, which is the SUV with those gull wings in the back, which is pretty cool. Now, this has been the same, or almost the same, for the last 8 years. 2012 is when they introduced it, and really, for the most part, unchanged. I think it's a smart marketing and strategy for Tesla, because when people think of Tesla, they have this in mind. They see the shape of this vehicle. Now there's always been some changes. There's been some changes in front. Now this bigger grille was replaced by this small, basically just a chrome trim piece right here. The lights are a little bit different. The wheels, they're standards with 19-inch wheels on it, like this one's right here, but they're also available with the 21-inch wheels. The color is standard. You can also choose another color on this. Now, all of the Teslas come standard with the glass roof, and this is what this is. I'm going to show you that when we're on the interior of this vehicle, and that's pretty cool. And all of these, this was genuine like Tesla before anybody else came out with those pull-out handles. So I'll show you the close-up of it, but basically anytime you walk up to this vehicle, the handles fold out, the mirrors fold out, and the vehicle is ready for you to get in. So this is a nice feature. Now, looking at the side profile of this, you might think, hey, you know, it reminds me of something. It reminds me of a vehicle. And you are right. It probably reminds you of a Mazda, because the same person who designed the Mazda designed this. And we're going to take a look at this now. So this is the front of it. I'm going to pop up the trunk. So yes, it does have two trunks. The front trunk, and the rear trunk, which is the hatch. So we can take a look at both of them. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at them right now. So in order to open it, you basically, but it pops open. Okay, let's see what's inside here. Okay, so front trunk, as some people call it. I mean, that's just an extra storage compartment for, you know, something that you want to put in here. It is fairly deep. Now this one has the front plate. This one's got a tow hook in here in case you need to get this car on the tow truck and license plate bracket. But you know, everything else is nicely covered, and there's really nothing else that you can see other than the windshield washer fluid, where you can put your windshield washer fluid. That's it. That's the front part of the trunk or frunk, and let's take a look in the back. Alright, so let's check out the back part of this vehicle. Now this is the, what do you see here? It's a Model S, and this particular one is a 75D, which they no longer make. They replaced them with a different trim. They actually, well, we'll talk about the trims in just a second. But here's the back part of it. First of all, what you need to know if you're getting the Tesla is where your charging port is. And that's where your charging port is right here. So this opens up. You know, you plug in your charger, whether it's a supercharger, home charger, anything like this, you plug this in. This is your trunk, and the trunk is pretty big, and as you can see, it opens up. It's like a hatchback, so it opens up nice and big, and there's plenty of room to put stuff in here. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up of it. Let's take a look around, like a walk around, and see what some cool features of this vehicle are, and then we're gonna get on the inside. All right, so first of all, you know what makes Tesla a Tesla? It's obviously it's an electric vehicle, and that's what it's known for. One of the first, one of the popular one of the greatest in my opinion. So the first thing you need to know obviously is where your charging port is, and your charging port is right here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to charge this car in just a little bit, so I'm gonna show you how it's done and show of this vehicle. And this is where you might see some things that you don't necessarily see in other cars. See the sensor right here? Okay, there is one right here as well, obviously in the mirrors. Okay, door handles, the ones that pop out so you can get in the car. Charging port. Okay, this is where you can plug in. See, it lights up pretty nicely. That's where you can plug in your charger in here. Now let's take a look at the trunk area. So what you see in the back, obviously the Tesla logo, the Model S logo. Trunk quite large, as you can see. Let's get you a close-up of it. As you can see, quite large trunk. What's nice about it too, that the seats fold down flat, so you can really carry a lot of stuff in there. But I'll show you this. I opened this up because people a lot of times think, hey, what do I do if I get stuck somewhere and I don't have a supercharger? You can actually charge it at home. Okay, there's a bunch of dongles One of them is just a regular 110 volt outlet that basically plugs in to the charger and then plugs in to the car, so you can actually charge this car at home without access to the supercharger. Now, superchargers would be essential if you're planning to drive this car a lot and you're planning to drive it on the long trips, because they're the fastest chargers and there's a network of them pretty much everywhere. And Tesla makes it easier for every Tesla owners to find out where they're at on their big infotainment screen. And we're going to take a look at that now as well. So let's take a look at the Roominess in the back seat, and then let's take a look at the front. Okay, so it's not the roomiest vehicle. I mean, I do have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position, and it's not like contoured like a lot of other vehicles have, where you have actually space for seats. Now, I could probably compromise a little bit and put the seat a little bit forward, but it wouldn't be as comfortable. But, you know, if it makes it comfortable for people in the back too, you can kind of see that compromise. So also in the back, if you look at the seats, I mean, there's not much room. There's all the sand that I brought in, but there's 3 seats in the back right here. There used to be a configuration where you could have 2 more seats in the very back, like kind of like the old Volvos, and seats facing backwards. Some of the Mercedes had station wagons, but they no longer have this available. But the floor is flat. There's nothing on the floor in the back, so you can easily fit 3 passengers. As a matter of fact, I think with the roominess, the third passenger, the middle passenger, might have the most room and be most comfortable. So we're gonna walk up to this car, and I want to show you on the door, and this is Tesla's approach to the design. It's very minimalistic. As you can see, there's nothing on this door other than this grab handle, door handle, the window controls, mirror controls, and this is the lock for the child safety. And see, I brought all the sand inside of this car already, but this is where the magic happens. So come on in. Alright guys, so when you get in, first of all, this is what welcomes you to the main instrument cluster. Basically it tells you the car is off. Right at the bottom of it, it tells you all of this charges, how many trips, how many minutes, all of that stuff. It tells you the battery life right here. It's at 45%. It tells you which model you're in on Tesla. We're going to talk about the models just in a little bit. But if you press the brake pedal, a whole bunch of lights are going on, and this is it. There's no button on this vehicle that says turn power on. There's the only button you can see on both sides. There's 2 buttons on the cluster. Right here is your hazard light, and right on the other side is your glove box opener. So that's it. That's all the buttons. The buttons on the steering wheel, okay, you can control the menu right here, and this is, again, everything is in the instrument cluster. Then the other button is for voice control, and you also have on the other side, you have the button for your volume of your radio or whatever media you have it set up for, and then you can switch the tracks. So that's it. Now this is the heart of this vehicle. Like I said, you know, there's no buttons on it, so everything is really controlled through this screen. And we're going to spend some time. Now, if I were to guide you or talk to you through all of the features on it, this video would be hours long. And second thing, I don't know all the features of it yet. First of all, big navigation system. I mean, it is massive, and it is touchscreen, kind of like your iPad. So if you want to navigate somewhere, okay, basically all you do right here is type in the place or address or anything that you want to think of. We're in Florida, so maybe Busch Gardens. Okay, and it tells you, hey, Busch Gardens right here, gives you the navigation. What's really important about this navigation system, that if you take a closer look, you see those red dots on the navigation. One right here, one right here, one right here, here. These are the locations of the superchargers. You know, make sure that you're gonna get enough charge to go there. Now, 28 minutes. It doesn't tell you that it's not going to have enough charge, but normally I put an address and it was at 45% charge. Let's put an address in a little bit further and let's see what's going to happen. Let's see, we're going to go to Fort Myers. Okay, that should be okay. See what it does? It says finding superchargers for your trip. So basically it tells you that, hey, you might not have enough juice to get to it, so you're gonna stop maybe in Sarasota. You're gonna have 6% left, and then you're gonna have in Fort Myers you're gonna have 20% left. Now they just changed that to a little bit closer superchargers, but that's pretty interesting. Okay, you can remove that if you want to, but why would you if you're running out of juice? So again, this is a super important thing, and it says charging needed to reach destination. Basically it tells you right there and then that you're not going to make it until you charge it up. Huge screen. First, when I got in this car, I thought it was be very obstructive and distractive when driving, and I don't find that at all. Like I said, I've driven this car for 5 days now, and it's super cool. Now, what it is, it's basically your infotainment system, your setting system. You could actually watch like Netflix or stuff if you parked in the vehicle. But let's take a look at the vehicle. Now this screen this size, it's gonna be like, okay, well this is so big, and you know, you can't see all the fingerprints and stuff like this. Well, it even has the screen clean mode. Look how dirty it is. Okay, I need to clean it, but basically it just shuts down the screen with enough backlight to show you all the fingerprints. So they thought about everything. Press and hold to exit. Exiting in 3, 2, 1, boom, back to the screen. Quick controls, suspension. This is an air suspension vehicle, so it is very soft. It's very nice. It's very it's like riding on the cloud basically. Now the ride height, you can see that too. You can see the ride height. Okay, now I can feel the car lowering. You can hear the car raising right now, and very high. So lights, headlights, you know, auto, you're gonna have the front fog lights on or off, and set that light. Dome lights, driving, comfort standard, sport, acceleration, chill, or standard. I like it on standard. It's super fast. We're gonna take a look at it in just a second. Autopilot. Now here's an interesting thing. So this vehicle is equipped with the suite of driver assist features. It's obviously the adaptive cruise control. It has the emergency lane departures, blind spot collision warning, chime, automatic emergency braking, obstacle aware, acceleration. If you were to get one right now, one of the options when you look at Tesla website is that you can have the Autopilot. It's about an $8,000 option, and that Autopilot will also have the ability to read traffic lights. Now it's not turned on because of the regulatory, still a lot of laws need to be passed before something like this gonna be done, but it's already, Tesla is already thinking about it. See, that's the difference between this electric vehicle and all of the other ones. Well, everybody is thinking about it. Tesla is actually doing it. See, they're planning for the future. They're already giving you the ability for the autonomous driving, and they're just waiting for the regulatory approval and maybe do some tweaks with the over-the-air software updates rather than waiting for that regulatory approval. I can't even say that word, but waiting for it and then producing a vehicle that is able to do it. So now this is the vehicle features. You can turn all of them on and off. As you can see, it's pretty similar to a lot of like the Apple products, you know, on, off, you know, the slider button, display. You can have a different brightness, screen clear mode, that's where we're at. Language, several languages to pick from. Unfortunately, Polish is not one of them. Maybe on the Polish version it is, but you can have, you know, several off languages to pick from. Trips, basically it tells you this vehicle has got 19,000 miles, and the current trip 5 miles. I just started right navigation. You can have, now this is an interesting thing because I have it at avoid tolls. Now in Florida there's a lot of toll roads, there's a lot of roads that you can go to as well and without paying tolls. So I have avoid tolls, and generally I can get there in the same time. Now I checked it with my phone navigation system, and when there is a big difference in time, you know, I'll just suck it up and pay toll. Big deal. Okay, but what I was going to tell you, when you have it set up with avoid tolls, it basically gives you up to the last minute. It tries to reroute you to get off the toll road, and then kind of gives you a warning that, hey, you're on the toll road. Safety and security. Now, cars in parked speed limit mode. Okay, this is turned off, but if you were to, let's say this car is really fast, really quiet, and you can't hardly feel that you're driving that fast. So if you wanted to kind of make sure that you're not going crazy, you can to put your speed limit on. A service, okay, key fob update. Now this is actually, you can put the key fob in here, which is actually right in here, and then you can update the key fob. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the key fob. Music or media, you can have several different ways of playing the music. So regular radio, believe it or not, it does have that option. It's pretty nice. The radio is I don't talk when the radio is playing. I never know when they're going to mute it. Phone, you can have connect the phone. See, I have my phone connected. Streaming services. Now it's not connected to the Wi-Fi, but you can have, you know, different streaming stations. If you're like a subscriber to, let's say, Spotify, you can have that. If you have a Wi-Fi connection in your car, you can have a tune-in if you're a subscriber to that. You can have a karaoke. You can actually drive and sing to your favorite songs in the vehicle. Settings, this is for your radio control settings. And then let's go back to the next screen. So calendar, Tesla mobile app, camera, energy, charging, web, entertainment, toy box. Charging, okay, this is where we're going to take a look when we're going to be charging it, of how it does it. Heated seats, we don't need that. Fan control. Now this is pretty cool because it's got this filtration system. Keep climate control on. You can have a dog mode. Remember when I did the video, I don't know if anybody watching, you're kind of warning people saying, hey, don't leave your dog in the vehicle. Now Tesla thought about it, and they actually have a dog mode. So when you have a dog mode, the car is going to be off, the AC is going to be blowing. The only drawback to it is you don't know how much battery you have. I hope you download the Tesla app, which is going to kind of alert you when you're running low on battery. So let's go back here. This, can you hear this turning on? This is kind of like recirculating air, filtrating air, all that stuff. So and turn that on and put it in the regular mode. Now you have your front window heater, you have your steering wheel, heated steering wheel. You can turn on the seat heaters, all of them, none of them. This is pretty cool because each of them is controlled separately. Let's turn that off. Temperature settings, you can have temperature different in, you can sync it for both sides. You can have it different in driver and passenger, front window, defogger, rear window, defroster. Your volume button is right here. So really, really cool infotainment system. There's a lot other things that you can do through it. Like I said, this video would be, hours long if we were to do it. I don't find it obstructive. I don't find it intrusive when driving. So this is a pretty cool feature. Anything else on the interior that we can see? Let's take a look. There's a compartment where you can, throw your phone in if you'd like to. This, I don't know if you can see it, how scratched up it is, but this is that shiny trim, and I'm not a big fan of it for, well, this is one of the reasons that whatever you put on, it's going to leave a mark, whether it's a fingerprint, whether you're going to put your phone, it's going to slide around, it's going to scratch it. Okay, but what's in here? So see, you have those big cup holders, and you can actually adjust them. Like if you have this big gulp or anything that's bigger than this, you can put this, take it from one side, put it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and you can fit different size of beverage bottles in here. Close that up. You can also have your another compartment right here for whatever you want to use it. There's a actually a charging outlet right here as well, two USB ports and the regular 12-volt outlet. Trims on this vehicle, so let's take a look. The trim, shiny trim, not a big fan of it, but you know what, it's here. Opening glove box. Okay, this is how you open it, and you close it manually. Nice quality materials, big windshield, view in front, unbelievable. This is beautiful. Guys, I'm ready to take it for a spin, and this is really where this car is completely different than anything else that you have driven. Hey guys, so I hope you're ready to take this for a spin, but before we do that, I want to point out one thing. A key. Okay, look at this. I mean, it's kind of looks like almost a USB drive. It's shaped like a Tesla. I guess they might have gotten the idea from Porsche. That company has the Porsche shaped key, but Porsche key actually feels like a key. This one feels very plasticky, very cheap. It's got no anything on the buttons. Basically, you just press it, front, back, middle. I mean, it's supposedly, I mean, that's okay, because all you have to do is just walk up to the car, and then, you know, the door will open, you get in the car, and you put it in drive, and then you start driving. That's as simple as this. I mean, you don't have to push the button to start the car, anything like this, and that's Tesla. So now the car is off. All I have to do is press the brake pedal. Okay, it releases the steering wheel. It turns on the vehicle, basically runs like the self-check, making sure the seat belts are on, all that good stuff. And then all I have to do is put it in drive and drive it. But I want to drive it to the Supercharger. So I want to drive it to the first or you know, Supercharger that's on the way where I'm going. And it's a pretty cool thing, because you can see there's a Supercharger that's about 8 miles away, and it has, you know, restrooms close by, food close by, coffee close by, shopping, and the Wi-Fi close by, which is a nice thing, because you're going to spend some time charging this car. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3. They say, hey, 20 minutes. Yeah, I'd say mostly like 30-35 minutes, depending how low you are. We're at 44%, so it shouldn't be too bad. But it also says that, hey, 5 out of 8 stalls are available. So, you know, which means that there's plenty of room. If there were like 8 out of 8 stalls, you know, not available, I wouldn't even go up there. And idle fees up to $1 per minute. I have seen that before. I don't know what that means. If you guys know it, please put it in the comment section below. That would be helpful. Also, as far as supercharging, when you do get a Tesla, now this is a rental, so it's not owned by me, but you do get the account. You sign up for the account where you put your credit card in, and unless you have like a free lifetime supercharging included, you're gonna have to pay for it. I mean, it's not free. Even if you plug it in home, you know, it's gonna have some energy usage, but you know, that's still less expensive than gasoline. And the fun factor, the performance of it, I mean, there's nothing better than this. And I gotta tell you, I've been talking about different vehicles, and I've been talking about, you know, my dream garage. And as if you've been following my channel, I said that, hey, you know, the Porsche 911's been my dream car for a long time. Jeep Wrangler, you know, is another one that I would love to have. And the third one was always like a question whether it's a big SUV, a big sedan, or maybe something else. And I think I just found it. It's gonna be an electric vehicle. Which one? I don't know, but I'm getting the kick out of it. I'm getting really a lot of fun driving this car. So let me shut up. Let's take you on the road. Okay, and now we're going. It's kind of like driving a golf cart, but take a look at this. Instant power, and it's crazy how fast this accelerates, and it's crazy how quiet it is. So it could be very deceiving as far as when you're driving this car, because I think the cool feature would be maybe a roar of the engine as a feature that it's going to tell you, hey, you're driving fast. But if you just want to enjoy the nice quiet ride, that would be here as well for you. So let's talk about the different models available. Now this one is obsolete already. It's a 75D, and they discontinued it last year, and this was fairly base model. As you can see, take a look at the seats. I'm sitting on them. There's nothing, according to Tesla, there's nothing like animal hide other than maybe the steering wheel cover, but they're eliminated pretty much. It's all like man-made leather, and with the actual fabric on the seats. So I mean, this is not even a premium interior. And when you try to select the model, you can select from the long range, you can select from the performance, and you can select from plate. And the differences between those is obviously the performance, because it's got the different batteries, it's got the different engines, dual engine or triple engine, and it definitely sees the difference in performance. So keep in mind that the one that I'm driving right now, it's the base one. Okay, it's not a performance model. It gets 0 to 60 in just about 4 seconds. Conflicting reports. Maybe if you don't know the 75D what it is, put it below. But I've read 3.7, I have read 4.2. So I'm just gonna middle it out and say, hey, it's gonna be about 4 seconds. Super fast. I mean, for what it is, and fast enough. But the performance car, it will get you 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. That's in ludicrous mode. That's actually the name of the mode. When you set it in the ludicrous mode, you're gonna get 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. That is sick. Now, if you weren't blown up by that, you can opt in for the Plaid, and Plaid will get you, it's a triple engine vehicle, and that will get you 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. Less than 2 seconds, 0 to 60. Now, I don't know about all the performance car fans, but you got your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, your stuff like this. They look flashy, they sound good, they're absolutely amazing vehicles. And now you have a sleeper car like this pulling up, because that one looks exactly like this and probably has a little bit different wheels, maybe a little bit different badging on it, but it pulls up to you and blows you out of the water right there and then, and you're sitting with your $500,000 car, and you go like, what the hell just happened? I got passed on by a Tesla. So this is a very interesting thing. So Tesla, when they started making these vehicles, they made a really smart move not to give you too many options. And then at one point, I guess there was a lot more options that are available, but right now you have 5 colors to choose from, 3 interiors, 2 wheels, and that's it. That is basically your options for majority of the vehicles. The colors are the same throughout the line, so you can get the same colors on the Model 3, Model X, Model S, and Model Y. And you can have the turbine wheel design. This is just the basic wheels that we have on this one, but there's also a turbine wheel design depending on the vehicle that you're getting it. It could be a 21 or 22 inch wheel, and that's an option of $4,500. So I mean, that's fairly expensive. But let's talk price for a second, because you have to kind of take a look at the performance of it. So I already talked about how fast it is. You kind of seen how fast it accelerates, and now let's talk about price, because this kind of a base model starts at about MSRP of about $75,000, and on Tesla's website it gives you the potential savings of about $5,000. So you can actually get into one of this if you didn't want to upgrade anything for about $70,000. And for some people who said, hey, it's a lot of money, and I get it, you know, but comparing to its class, now we reviewed the Jaguar I-Pace, beautiful vehicle, you know, that's also in the same kind of price range. Now, another one that's a competitor that's coming out or came out recently is Porsche Taycan. That's an electric vehicle, and that's way over $100,000 just from the get-go. So, I mean, it's more expensive than that. Also, when you look at some of the other competitors, what are they? I mean, are they kind of an afterthought because everybody's trying to catch up with the with Tesla? I mean, that's become the benchmark of the electric vehicles. If you were to be asked, like on the street, if you're walking on the street and you don't really know much about cars, you're not following anybody, and says, hey, name one electric vehicle, what would it be? And I guarantee 99% of people would say Tesla. And that's because this is the original one, this is the most well-known, and look at this. It doesn't matter what speed you're going. If you hit that accelerator, you get that horsepower right away. By the way, this is 518 horsepower. So this one, like the base one, would start about $70,000. The one with the performance, 2.3 seconds 0 to 60, that would be about $90,000. So, you know, it's a big difference, about $20,000 difference you get for a little bit longer range and you get for a super high performance car. And then the third one, the Plaid one, is about $130,000. So now that's, you know, going into that upper bracket of the price range. But that's still less than 2 seconds for $130,000. Show me another vehicle that can do that. Put it in the comment. Maybe I don't know about it, but put it in the comment section of another vehicle that can do that. Another very super cool feature, and I know we're jumping up and down, but I'm driving and still getting to the charger. I want to show you how that charger works. But the super cool feature, hopefully that camera is going to capture that right here in the middle of the screen. You can see when I showed you the exterior of this vehicle and showed you those little sensors on the side of it. Look at this, there's a car passing me by right now, and you can see that on the screen. So it kind of gives you the 3D map, the silhouette of the cars that are on the road, and that's all due to all of the sensors. So now it's ready for the autonomous driving. It already has the technology, it has the capability of doing it. It's just, you know, adding that module and turning it on. That's what really prevents it from happening. See, I'm passing another car right now. I hope you can see that, you know, and it actually differentiates a small car, big car, pickup truck like this one that we just passed, the truck that I'm about to get closer to, and that's just another excuse to hit that accelerator. But let's slow down a little bit here. But here's a truck, and you can see on that silhouette, it's got a silhouette of a truck, not a regular vehicle. So it's very nice safety feature as well. When you get to parking, and we're going to take a look at the rear view camera when I get to the charger. We're going to take it out and I'll show you how it charges. But what makes it different is that it's ahead of its time. First of all, you know, look at the design. The design is 8 years old and it still looks absolutely fabulous for the type of car. Yes, do I think it should be refreshed maybe a little bit more? Yes, but what are they gonna do? I mean, that design, 8 years old. Some of the cars can't even get to this level with the design of their current vehicles, and this is already, you know, almost a decade old design. The one thing, you know, a lot of people were kind of complaining about maybe the fit and finish. I don't see that being an issue. I don't see that this is any less quality than any other vehicle. Now, comparing it, for example, to maybe those handmade cars like Bentleys and Rolls Royces or high-end Mercedeses, yes, you're probably going to get a better quality materials in those, but for the most part, this one is not lacking any quality either. The one thing that I would really complain about it would be the key. I mean, come on, they give you this little dinky plasticky key. What I have it right here, and yeah, I'm sure you can just do it though with your phone if you have a Tesla app. There's a bunch of features, and I'd like to get my hands on that so we can kind of test it. The other thing is the roominess, like getting in and out of the car. If you get in, it's comfortable. It's got nice, roominess in here. It gives you the good visibility and all that stuff. The seats, they're okay. They're just the regular seats. I hope that the performance version of this vehicle has the performance seats, like kind of like a Recaro seat or something. I'd have to do some research. If you guys, again, if you know it, put it in the comment section. I'm not too familiar with Teslas, but that would be nice, because with the accelerations like this, and it gives you like that almost like that one G-force when you're accelerating to your body. With the speeds like this, it should have seats that kind of grip you. So that would be one thing to do. I'm just waiting for an excuse, and here it is. That instant power, that's what excites me. And it's kind of dangerous too, because if you're driving a vehicle like this, you're gonna find yourself like trigger happy with that acceleration with your gas pedal. Trigger happy with your gas pedal. And maybe not every stoplight, but you're gonna pull out and you're gonna say, hey, you wanna go, bro? You wanna go? You wanna go? Well, I haven't done that, but that could be something that, another thing, if you haven't driven a Tesla before, see, I'm not pressing the brake or anything like this. When you let your foot off accelerator, it automatically applies brake, and it turns on the brake light, so people behind you can see that you're slowing down. Super smart by Tesla that they actually did that. And while it's braking, it's kind of that regenerative braking, which charges up your battery, so it slows down the car pretty quickly. And at the same time, people behind you don't know that it does it unless they see a brake light, so it turns on the brake lights right there too. Okay, we're getting closer to the charging station. One thing I haven't touched on it is the steering, and the steering is very nice and precise. The steering wheel feels good in your hand. It's leather wrapped. It's kind of bigger than some of the other steering wheels that I've seen, but it feels good. It grips good. You can definitely have a good feel for the vehicle. Also, another thing is that suspension. We talked about it a little bit. It's the air suspension, so it drives absolutely smooth, quiet. So if you wanted to just relax, you can kind of maybe hear a little bit of that whine, but not bad on the vehicle. Other than that, it's kind of like getting into a spaceship, and just the propulsion just taking off. I don't know if you're seeing the big screen here, but we're about 0.2 miles away from the charging station, so I'm just going to pull up to it right now, plug it in, and show you how this screen changes when the vehicle is charging. Let's pull it up. We'll continue the conversation after I get all plugged in. So you have to pull it up fairly closely. The cords are not huge. As you can see, it tells you, hey, you're getting close. We're 18 inches from an obstacle here, so, but we're at the station now, so let's take a look and see what it is. Okay, so when you get to the charging station, there's two things you can really do. Open up your charging port, okay? Take your supercharger, so it lights up in blue, put it in, changes the color a little bit, and then it blinks. I guess it verifies your account or whatever it needs to do, then it's gonna start charging. And here it is, it's turning green, which means the vehicle is charging now. So let's get back inside and we'll finish up this review. Okay, so what you can see in here, it says supercharging, and we're at 38%, and it does have about 39% right now, so it's 50 minutes to fully charge. Now it's gonna adjust, it's gonna change while it's charging, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be an hour wait before it's charged, but it is longer than 20 minutes, what a lot of people are saying. So here's what the difference is. Like, here's what you need to do when you want to get done with charging. You simply press the stop charging here, you unlock it, you take that charger out, put it back on the supercharger, and you're done. Okay, so we're sitting here, car is charging. Let's conclude this review. First of all, I've gotten a lot of attention from people that I've been seeing on this work trip, and this has been certainly a conversation piece, because a lot of people would ask me, hey, how do you like your Tesla? And I get to tell them, hey, you know what, that's not really mine, but it's something that I've rented and I absolutely love it, and there's no reason not to love this car, really. The second thing is the question, and I was surprised with my answer, and it was kind of instant, because somebody says, well, would you buy it? And I said yes. So I mean, I would definitely put it on my list of vehicles that I would buy, or put it in my dream garage. I don't know if it would be this particular model, but definitely a Tesla, maybe a Tesla Y or Tesla X, or I think Tesla X would probably fit my needs a little bit better, because it's a SUV, it's a larger vehicle, and it is actually, it's got more room, and I probably wouldn't be bumping my head into the pillars right here or the roof. So concluding this review, I absolutely love this vehicle. I give it a big thumbs up, and I definitely recommend it to anybody that's looking at Tesla. Just do yourself a favor. Tesla offers free test drives. Now, this is not one of them. This is not a Tesla owned vehicle, but you can actually schedule it at a Tesla center, experience it for yourself, or go to a dealer if they have a used one and ask for a test drive. I'm sure they'll be happy to arrange that for you. Now, as far as ordering a new one, most of you know Tesla does not have like independent dealerships. They have a dealer network, but all the dealers are owned by the company, actually. So it's not, they don't haggle on prices, they don't give you deals. It's not different from one Tesla store to another. That's kind of smart, and they keep control of the pricing, of the resale value, and the whole 9 yards. And if you wanted to, simply go to the website tesla.com. You can go and build your own Tesla. Choose your colors, choose your interior colors, choose your wheels, choose whether you want that super fancy Autopilot computer. And if you say order now, all it's going to take, it's going to tell you how long it's going to take, and it differs by model. Some of those are 4 to 8 weeks. Some of those are 3 to 7 weeks. However the production is going currently, they're going to tell you how long it's going to do, and all you have to do is put $100 down and order that car. Now, if you want to buy one today and you want to buy a brand new one, you can also select from some limited inventory that some of the dealers have, and it gives you that option too. Kind of played around with that website a little bit. It's pretty cool, because I would probably find something. I'm not the person that like to wait 4 to 8 weeks to get my car. If I want it, I want it yesterday. Anyways, conclude this video, guys. If you like this type of videos, and I love making them, and love your support, I love that the subscriber count is growing, please hit like, subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything, helps me out a lot, as well as it keeps me motivated to continue doing other videos. So I'll give this a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers.